So, how are you? How are you
I'm
finding
great.
Italy?
It's great. It's my favorite country. I've never gotten to work here, but I first came here when I was 19. I was an art student, and I spent a summer in Rome. Um, and since then, I've traveled around Italy a little more. But my heritage is Scottish and Irish, but I love the Italian people.
Yeah. So, speaking about your career, you've captured audience since Bottle Rocket to indie to mainstream like
Mhm.
Legally Blonde. So, I was wondering what draws you to a role today?
Um, well, I think what draws me to a role today is, you know, sometimes it can be hard to have everything, a great role in a great movie with great people. Sometimes you just have to find a role that you like and try and focus on that. Other times it's the other actors. Um, but I just, and it's easy to get pigeonholed too. I mean, for when I was first getting started, I played a lot of boyfriends, just kind of, I always, back then I really liked to work, and now I still really like to work. So just kind of would take different jobs to stay busy. And always, one of my favorite things working on movies is you meet different crew people. You think, okay, if I'm ever able to get my own film made, I'd like to work with that costume designer, that production designer, that actor, or that director. So I always just like being on a film set. It's a place that I feel comfortable.
So, you also were in Horizon.
Yes.
So, I was wondering what did you learn from Kevin Costner and also from working on a multi chapter project?
Well, I learned a great deal from Kevin Costner, and it was so fun for me to, he was kind of my first favorite actor right about when I was probably 13 or 14. That's when The Untouchables came out and Dances with Wolves and things like that. So I was a big fan of his. I thought he was a cool guy, but I also thought he was a really good actor. And then when he became a director, that was very impressive. And in terms of what I learned from him, he just, he we had a big crew on Horizon, and there was weather, there was livestock, cattle and horses and stuntmen and actors and actresses and crew people, and he was in charge of everybody, and he just did such a good, calm, but very hard working leadership style that I really I was really impressed by, and I really admired it. He was also just a good guy. He didn't take himself too seriously, and he really worked hard.
Yeah, that's great. And
Yeah.
also, you come
Oh,
from.
and
Oh,
what,
yeah.
wait, sorry, what you were saying about working on a multi-chapter film, that was very interesting too, because when I when I when I first got this, I got two scripts at the beginning. I got chapter one and chapter two, and to me they read like books, like almost kind of historical action books, set in the American West. So the idea that you'd be on a movie for a long time really appealed to me, because growing up, I would read about how Apocalypse Now took, a year to make and a year to edit, or a movie like Heaven's Gate, the Michael Cimino movie. They filmed that for a year. So one of the great things about being on a film set is it's kind of an enclosed environment where you feel like the world is out there. So if you have a problem, or if you want to get away from home, it's a great place to be. So for me to have gotten to work in Utah for a couple of years was really, I just loved it. And to get to work with a great crew where you feel a part of a team, and it's not a cliche to call it a family, because it really does feel like a family.
And last question I wanted to ask you is obviously, do you have a Italian favorite movie or in
Well,
general?
I was sad to see that the little boy from The Bicycle Thief just died. He was
Yeah.
an old man now, Yeah, that movie, I just really, really loved The Bicycle Thief. Um, because to me, the movies that I first grew up really loving were American movies from the late 60s and 1970s. Those were the movies that really affected me. And I think those movies were really influenced by the Italian New Wave and by the French New Wave. So the movies I loved were greatly influenced by Italian cinema. But also, you know, of course, Fellini, unbelievable. And just saw an incredible documentary about Ennio Morricone and his music, and Sergio Leone. Just great movies, and very. Um, I don't know that you'd call it simplistic, but I just feel that there wasn't a lot of lighting and but very cool camera
That's
angles.
just life.
Yeah, yeah,
They're about life.
yeah, they really are. And so yeah, but what I would really like to do is get the chance to work here. So hopefully I'll meet some nice Italian filmmaker and go to work here.
Thank you for
Well,
your
thank
time.
you. I appreciate it. Very
Thank
nice
you.
to meet you.